I clearly have no issue with intergender wrestling. That is my opinion. Um, I think people that are very against intergender wrestling and oh, that's offensive and how could you portray, women and violence and ah, um, all wrestling is violent. All wrestling, if it was not happening in a wrestling ring where people agreed to do it, would be violence, like domestic violence or assault. It's a combat sport. So if a woman chooses to enter the ring with a guy and they're like, I can take this guy on, they're choosing to do that. They're capable of that. They're a trained wrestler that has decided for themselves, yeah, I can take that guy on, right? Like we all have the same training.
Hmm.
We all train together. Um, every girl in wrestling has wrestled guys in training far more than they've wrestled other women in training. My current school has two girls and maybe 12, 15 guys. I took my first body slam from a guy. I took my first suplex from a guy. I took my first strikes from a guy. I also gave my first suplex to a guy, gave my first strikes to a guy. We all train the same way. So why aren't we allowed to wrestle the same way? You know, um, if women can decide for themselves that they are okay with having an intergender match, I don't think anyone else can be offended by it. Um, when it's happening behind the scenes anyways.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think it's kind of insane that people look at it and say, well, this could look like domestic violence and domestic violence is bad, which it clearly is very bad.
Very.
But two guys wrestling in a ring could also look like two guys in a real life violent scenario,
Hmm.
right? Everything we're doing comes from a place of violence, but we're doing it in a controlled environment where everybody there has agreed to fight each other and that we're trained, we know what we're doing, let's fight. That's what we do. That's wrestling. That's any wrestling you're going to watch. So, why should we limit, women's opportunities because it could look bad when if you're doing it right, any wrestling should kind of look bad in the sense that it's a fight. Um, there are way more guy wrestlers than there are girl wrestlers. That's a reality. There are so many guys that wrestle. Sometimes it's hard to find another girl to wrestle a girl on a show. So, should women be denied opportunities to perform and to show all the cool stuff that we can do, that we can hold our own? I don't like the idea that, you know, women should be boxed in. Like if I get suplexed by a guy in a match, that's because I didn't do my job as a wrestler to prevent him from suplexing me.
Right.
But that's just a consequence of my wrestling. That is part of wrestling. Same thing as if it was a girl, you know? It's I don't it's okay if like a wrestler personally like doesn't feel comfortable with it, I guess, because both people do have to agree to the match. But I don't think people from the outside should be saying whether or not it's something we can do. Um, when it's something that is happening in training 3 times a week, they just don't see it.
I love it. No, you're exactly right, and I think a lot more people need to look at it more of the art that it is, as opposed to, like you said, what they just think. Because Yeah, two men beating the crap out of each other in a ring, or four men, or six men, or eight, or however many, that's totally okay. But you get a man and a woman there, watch out now. What are we doing here?
Yeah, like we're all beating each other up.
Right,
Like, and also, nobody bats an eye when like Rey Mysterio
right.
has a match with the Great Khali. Huge size difference, right?
Yeah,
But people for some reason think it's unrealistic for Charlotte Flair to have a match with Austin Theory or something
yeah,
when they are much closer in stature and size and ability than the first example, right?
yeah, exactly.
It's just people that, whether they realize it or not, think women aren't as capable. And I know that women are just as capable. Um, and we're more creative. We're more flexible. We think about things in a different way. It's
Hmm.
not always about size, and that's true of any wrestling, but I think a lot of great wrestling doesn't happen because there's a stigma about it, and I think that's unfortunate.
I'm 100% agreement on this. Yes. Now, I have a segment on the show called the 5 count. It's just 5 random questions. Just answer as quick as possible.
Okay. In advance, I tend to ramble, so I apologize.
Well,
Uh,
according to Zoom, we only have 3 minutes, so that's up to you.
okay. Yeah, Zoom. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. 3 things people would not expect about
Um, I like sports.
you.
I
Nice.
like roller coasters, and I like to be the person driving on a road trip.
Wow. I think that would be a nice little delight for me because I'm usually also the driver.
Yeah.
If you owned a liquor company, brewery, winery, or coffee shop, which one would it be and what would the name be?
Um, this isn't one of the options, but I'm gonna say a cocktail bar.
Even better.
Because I don't like beer really. I don't even like wine. I like cocktails. I like mixing things.
There you go.
So Nixi's mixes, something like that.
There we go. Or even Nixie's Mixies.
Yeah,
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 that'd
that
be fun.
works. That's cute.
That'd be fun. What would your last meal be?
Um, like 5 flavors of cheesecake, because cheesecake is my favorite food.
I love it.
Um, Tons of pie.
Oh, and pie. Okay.
Um, oh yeah, I love desserts, like cream puffs, donuts, all of it. Um, like a really, really nice steak and a ton of seafood.
Okay. There you go.
Like it's gonna be a huge meal. Like it's a whole day affair if it's my last meal.
Yeah, I mean, it's your last meal. You got to go all out.
Yeah, I love food. So
Who or what inspires you?
myself. I
As
inspire me.
as you should. What would you tell your 17-year-old self?
Um, be more mad. Be mad at people. Let yourself be pissed off.
Don't just hold it in and wait for the next wrestling show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, if people wanted to find out more about you, follow you online, see you live, buy your merch, how can they do all the things?
So on all the social medias, I'm at Nixi, Nixi underscore PW. So Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I don't use TikTok that much, but I should. Um, on Facebook, it's just Nixi XS. But I'm traveling all the time. I'm working all the time. I'm always posting where I'm going to be at. I'm getting my merch store set up right now. So that will be soon. It's happening. Um, but yeah, if you just follow me on social media, there's all the updates, everything that I'm doing. Um, yeah.
Well, perfect. Nixie, thank you so much for this conversation. I've loved it, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. Thank you so much to Nikki for being on the show.
definitely make sure to follow her on her social medias. Find out where she is going. She is definitely going to be on the rise very soon, and you're going to want to know her ahead of time, so that way you know what all the cool new wrestlers are. So while you're doing that, make sure to follow us on social media as well. It is Brewsers Pod. That is BREWSCRSPOD on the Instagram, the Threads, and the Twitter. If you want to send us an email, it is brewserspod@gmail.com. If you want to follow me directly, it is Rodie John. That is RODIEJON. Rodie John is the name on the Twitter and on Untapped. In case you want to find out what I'm drinking, maybe we can have a beer together. If you want to follow me on the Threads or the Instagram, it is official Rodie John. Send me an email if you would like. It is rodiejohn@gmail.com. So until next time, make sure to enjoy life, drink local, and cheers.